Hello everybody and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs and today I have day 19 of my 30 days of watercolor painting, so let's jump right in. This one is super whimsical and a lot of fun. It had a very, very vibrant background, which you guys know I love, so I had a lot of fun painting this one. So for the colors that I used, because of course they are usually different than what the instructor is using, I have bright clear violet, bright opera orange, sap green, yellow green, Prussian blue is in there as well, and indigo, because I don't have Payne's gray, and honestly my indigo is so gray that it works perfectly. So for this one, I found this one came together incredibly quickly. If you guys don't know, I am following a class on Skillshare. It's watercolor painting. You do 30 landscapes. You're supposed to theoretically do it in a month. However, that's not really realistic for me. I mean, the idea is that you sit down and paint every day, but I have so much going on that I can't paint every day. So I try to make sure I paint at least once a month to, kind of keep up on it. And I am going to kind of get a little faster here because I only have 11 of these left and I really want to learn gouache painting this year. So I want to finish my watercolors and then move on to doing some gouache painting. So there'll still be painting videos for the next while on the channel. I hope you guys don't mind. It's one video a month. So hopefully you guys kind of just have fun checking it out. But I have been really enjoying doing these paintings and it's just kind of a fun way to see progress. So if you want to go backwards, you can go back to day one that I did. I think it was January of last year was day one, because I've kind of been doing 1 or 2 a month. And of course there's 30, so that would take me theoretically 30 months. However, like I said, I only have 11 left at this point. So I am going to kind of speed this up and do more so that I can do gouache painting sooner. So don't be surprised if you see there's a few random months where there might be 2 of these. It's kind of rare because they're not super popular, but I think it's fun to share them with you guys. I think that you could use painting in your card making if you wanted to. My intention is to take these and turn them into postcards. When I've created all 30, I want to go through and pick out some of my favorites. And then I really want to make them into postcards and send them, to friends or pen pals, or I'll sell some on my website as well if people think they're interested. And I would also like to, maybe potentially sell the originals as well, because I don't need a whole bunch of watercolor paintings just sitting here in a drawer. Like that seems kind of silly. So that is the intention down the road. I am not there yet. Like I said, I still have 11 of these to go. Anyway, so you saw me draw the horizon line and then a little hill. This one was a really interesting class because it's not realistic in color. It was just kind of, I don't know if the instructor really just wanted to do something different, but we just kind of played with super vibrant colors. And you guys know I love the vibrant colors. This is probably one of the most fun ones I've had painting because they're so vibrant. But I did end up having to go in a few times with the colors. I felt like I had more water than pigment when I was laying these down, and I just really wanted more of a stronger, vibrant color. And of course you can tailor that. Like if you want it to be more subtle, don't add as much color as I did, but I had so much fun with this that I just kind of kept adding color. And then that orange on the bottom was just really fun because it's so bright. I almost, if I had been thinking, I would have gone rogue and just added a touch of yellow as well, because how fun would that have been? But I didn't. I actually followed along with the class on this one. I didn't go rogue anywhere. I didn't go rogue anywhere. I was gonna say but I didn't. I followed this class fully. I will say that when we get to the water section, you'll see here in a minute, I really wanted to add some white highlights. Even to the mountains, like I have a thing with highlights. I feel like we go in and we add shadow and we add highlight sort of, but it's not bright enough for me. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if when I get to the end of these and I scan them in, I don't tweak them a little, because I probably will. Like I would like to add a little bit of highlight in the water and on the mountain, because it feels like the sun is about to crest and I feel like you'd have a little bit more highlighting from that, but it doesn't matter. It's a painting. I think that it turned out pretty neat other than the unrealistic colors. And then for the water, I used Prussian blue and I mixed it up with the bright clear violet so that it was kind of it's not a super purpley blue, but it is more to the purple side than like that's kind of what I was aiming for, so that it kind of goes with the clouds a little bit better. My Prussian blue is very dark, so I thought that this would just kind of add a little bit more interest. And we go in and add some lines and some textures. I'm going to add some indigo to the mix as well to kind of add just a little more interest when we add the lines. But here, this is where I wish that I had maybe gone in and done a little bit of highlighting on the water as well. Although I guess theoretically here, the sun has not crested over the horizon line, so you wouldn't have harsh highlights yet, but you'd probably have in the water some of the orange would be reflecting, or even the pink. So that is one thing that you could go back in and maybe do with gouache over top of the watercolor instead of trying to mix orange over blue, because they create brown. But it's a fun experiment. I'm learning so much from this class. Like, if you guys have been watching since the beginning, and I know some of you have, which thank you, I greatly appreciate you, because I know this is not, my bread and butter on the channel is card making. Obviously, that's what I do predominantly. That's what I'm more known for. But it's fun to be able to introduce different things on the channel and just kind of create and explore different mediums, even if they're not, what most people want to see from me. And I think that that's okay. I did add a touch of orange to my green here. Again, that is going to mute your color. If you add too much, you're going to get brown. I just wanted it to be slightly more almost olivey toned, which, had I been thinking, I actually have an olive green in my palette, but I go with the colors that the instructor suggests, and then we kind of play from there. So I did add just a touch of orange to that green to give it more of a deep color instead of a bright color, because it just kind of mutes it. But if you add too much, you will get brown, because again, green and orange, not a good combo. And then we go in with indigo at the bottom. But I really appreciate you guys kind of hanging out with me in content that's not my bread and butter. So it's just, I feel like if all I did was create cards in every video all the time, I would lose a bit of the joy of it, because I would struggle for ideas, and then I'd be making just to make, not because I was enjoying it. And I think getting to break up my channel with some watercolor videos and some journaling videos, it gives me a little bit of something different, and it gives me a chance to explore my creativity and share that with you guys in case it's interesting to you. Like maybe you want to take up watercolor and you're scared to start, and hopefully, watching me stumble along is, interesting to you. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's inspiring to you, and it's not even just watercolor. Whatever it is, whatever new skill you want to pick up, hopefully me doing this crazy stuff inspires you a little bit to create or start some kind of new hobby, or whatever it happens to be for you. In my case, of course, it is obviously watercolor, but you just wait. I will share gouache when we jump into that next, because of course that'll be an interesting learning experience, because it is an opaque water medium. So similar to watercolor, but it's opaque, so you don't necessarily have to build from the background forward. You can do whatever you want. Like there's no right or wrong here. I don't know if you can hear Aqua in the background. She's in the tub playing with a mouse, and then she yells every once in a while. It's really cute, but she's having a blast in there. So she was just yelling. I wasn't sure if you guys could hear her. And then in the background, we kind of added this little extra hill. I wish I had made mine a little bit bigger. My paintings are bigger than the instructors. Like my piece of paper is bigger. So I wish I'd kind of made the hill in the back a little bit bigger, just so it stood out a bit more. But honestly, I think this painting turned out pretty great. I love the vibrant colors. Like I said, it's just different than what we usually create in the class. It's usually very realistic, or more so. It leans more to more realistic colors, and it leans more to what you might actually see. But this was so much fun. And you did see me bring in that really light green as a highlight on top of those hills. But like I said, I almost want to go in with just a little bit of white and just add just a bit more, or even orange. If you went in now with like an orange paint, not watercolor necessarily, but like I said, like a gouache, and you added that on top of the mountains and just had that kind of like bouncing light of the orange sky, like how pretty would that be? Anyway, this is the painting I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.